welcome back to another episode of Tech Girl Thursdays. Today I'm here with Amal and we are going to be talking about her experiences, and I'm super excited to chat with her today. So let's get right to it. So thank you so much for joining me today on this Zoom call, Amal. Just to kick things off, can you give me a short intro about yourself, your background, any interests and hobbies that you have?
Thank you for having me, Shalini. So, hello, I'm Amal Hussain. I'm a sophomore at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, UMBC. I'm Pakistani American, and I guess some interests and have passions I have. So my main passion is nature and the environment. And I guess like in college, like, I'm still like trying to, I guess like figure out my trajectory, like my major. But like I definitely want to continue doing something in that field. And then like some other clubs I'm in, I'm involved with like the Red Cross Club and Greenpeace. And some other tech organizations that I'll talk about later. And I guess I enjoy volunteering, spending time with my cats, riding my bike, stuff like that.
Yay, that sounds great. And I can't wait to dive into all of that in this chat. So, you said you were a student at UMBC. So, what has your experience been like so far at UMBC?
So far, I've enjoyed being at UMBC. I think like the environment is like really welcoming and promotes like diversity and inclusion. Like that we even have like a diversity and inclusion office. And I know that like as part of like the first year seminars for the Center for Women in Technology, we had to like write an essay about it. So we definitely want to promote diversity and inclusion and like it definitely is also like a STEM oriented school, so I feel like there's a lot of options for somebody who wants to go into that field, and there are a lot of resources and support systems to help you through it. And it's like a medium-sized school, so I feel like it doesn't get overwhelming. Like finding everything is okay. There's also a lot of clubs, so I feel like there's a good balance between academics and social life.
You mentioned that you have been a chemical engineering major, and you're switching to a GES and CS minor. So, what was the inspiration behind this switch?
So I guess currently I'm still declared a chemical engineering major, but for next semester onwards, I intend to do, as you were saying, geography and environmental systems like GES or like environmental science, and also a computer science minor because like this past summer, I guess I began thinking about it. And I did I guess, internship with NOAA assessors. So they do like geosciences and remote sensing. And like that is like kind of an integration of like computer science and environmental science. And I felt like in my major, I wouldn't get like a lot of exposure within like environmental science and like computer science with that like specific field. So I guess like I started thinking, do I want to continue down chemical engineering and like see what I guess like just try out the waters, like see what kind of opportunities I get, or I guess like switch my trajectory and like see if I enjoy this more. And like after taking a an environmental science class like this semester, and like I took some in high school too, I really enjoyed it. Like it really like clicked with me, I guess, like just learning about like earth's processes, like natural processes, and like ecosystems, and like the way earth is made up and like our impact on it. It really appeals to me. But I also know that in this field, like having a strong foundation of like computer science is very important. Like being able to do I guess like geographic information systems like mapping and using data sets and all that is important. So that's kind of why I decided to change my major.
You mentioned the environment, and that is, I mean, it's such an important topic. Also, combining computer science with that's a really cool combination. It kind of shows the power of technology and how it can be like implemented in so many different ways. Yeah, so I just think that's such a cool combination.
Yeah. And you would definitely know since like you are like doing data science and like you have a strong foundation and like programming and all that. So yeah, you would definitely know. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's just so much data too, I feel, that's related to, like geography and ecosystems, and just the environment. And like we definitely aren't looking at all of that data at the moment. Like there's just so much data being generated. You mentioned that you were working at an internship this past summer, kind of related to this field. Could you like talk more about like that internship and maybe like what was the most interesting part about it?
So this past summer, I virtually interned with NOAA assessors. So NOAA is the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. So it's kind of like the sister to NASA, but they do more Earth sciences. And then CESARS, that stands for Center for Earth Space Sciences and Remote Sensing Technology. So like they're a branch of NOAA that does like more specifically, I guess, technological things. Like they do remote sensing and um, yeah, earth space sciences related things. And basically, so there is a UMBC division of NOAA assessors. So I work with a mentor on a project, and even though he specializes in atmospheric science, he's very flexible. The program was very flexible since it is online and all that. And I did more of a kind of like oceanic or like aquatic research project. So my project ended up being like a decade analysis of like air and water temperature in Chesapeake City within Chesapeake Bay. So basically, it encompassed me utilizing MATLAB because I would consider myself like a beginner coder, but I was familiar with MATLAB from like a previous class. So I used MATLAB to like create data sets from like a database, like a NOAA database. I downloaded like air and water temperature from 2010 to 2019, and I basically like imported it into MATLAB so I could track the trends. So basically just see like where the temperature was the highest, lowest, create like linear regressions, create graphs, and it allowed me to like I guess understand the trends like for the specific decade, since like it wasn't I don't think like there has been a like specific focus on like the trends in this decade. So like it revealed that definitely in like these past few years the air and water temperature in the city and the Chesapeake Bay has been increasing, and it's due to human activity, anthropogenic activity. And like I was able to also do some background research on like the impact of humans on the bay overall. So it was like really cool getting to like do like the environmental research and also like develop my programming skills as I was doing it.
That's such a cool project, and I think it has so much impact on like what we can do better as humans to impact, just like the earth. Are there any like recommendations you have based on your analysis for what we can do better as humans, as a society?
Mm, I guess like what the data did show is that I guess like what other climate scientists are saying is that inevitably we needed to just be conscious and like take accountability for our actions. Like I know like in the Chesapeake Bay region, like it spans over 6 states, but like there is like a portion of course in Maryland. And like there still are a lot of things that the Maryland can do to become more sustainable, like getting rid of like the trash incinerator and like reducing our plastic output, our pollution output, and I guess just becoming more conscious. And like even though like this like my analysis did show that there's a lot of room for improvement, there also was like the overall health of the bay, like it's been stagnant for the past few years. So it is good to see that like a lot of like the scientists who are working at the bay itself at the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, they're putting a lot of effort and it's paying off. They're making sure the ecosystems and like the organisms are doing well, they're healthy. So we're definitely doing a lot of great good things in the bay, but there can of course more can be done, just like plastic pollution and reducing our carbon footprint and all that.
Yeah, there's been so much talk about, climate change. Oh, I mean, over like the past few years and even before that. And it starts small, right? Like I think we all have to like start individually and then everything adds up.
Hmm.
And I don't know, hopefully people just get to learn more about it and realize the impact that they're having. And there's so many simple things, like you were talking about plastic pollution. So many of these products are made with plastic.
Yeah, and like I think I also remember like maybe Coca-Cola, like the soda company, used to like distribute their drinks in like glass bottles. I mean, that's like reusable. That like people would actually bring back the glass bottles to get them refilled. But now we have all these plastic bottles, and like it's not sustainable. So definitely using glass or like metal containers, that definitely would be better alternative. Yeah.
What inspired you to pursue like STEM or tech kind of these fields in the environment?
So I guess like for the environment, in elementary school, I guess I kind of touched on it earlier. We did like in my I guess fourth grade class, we did a project. It was called like the Oyster Reefball project. So like I like always remember this as like a distinct memory because it was just so cool to me. And like we got to make like these cement like spheres, and basically like because I think at that time like it was a while ago. Fourth grade is a while ago for me. So at that time like the oysters like their population was declining, so I guess like the scientists and the people, they came to our school and they said, let's make some habitats for the oysters because like their habitats are being destroyed. There's not enough, so it'll stimulate their population growth. So we use like cement balls and like also use like sticks and like basically shaped the spheres for them, and we also made holes so they could like stay in it. So I just remember that was like a really cool project I did, and like it definitely you know maybe ignited my interest in the environment. And then like after that, like throughout high school and like middle school, um I got more involved in like environmental science related clubs and like did more, I guess, hands-on work like um road cleanups, and I did, I guess, like more, I guess, projects with like other groups of people, um to basically like learn more about the environment. And like also in high school I did like two research projects, like in 11th grade on like algal biofuels, and 12th grade on wildlife vehicle collisions, so I could just like learn about environmental issues that are prevalent. And then for like CS and tech, I did Girls Who Code. Like my parents got me into that, like and my sisters, around sixth or seventh grade, and I did it for a few years. And it was a really cool organization, like just being with other girls and coding. It was a really cool environment, and like we had really great teachers. So we did like primarily Scratch, and I guess similar programs to that, like Scratch and Khan Academy as like introductory programs. And it's really cool getting to like learn the basics of coding. And I do regret that like after Girls Who Code, I didn't focus on like coding specifically that much. In high school I only took like one coding class, and I do regret that. But it definitely did spark my interest. And then when I joined a robotics team in high school, it definitely gave me some leverage, I guess, like some background knowledge. And also in robotics, it was exposure to STEM and like similar fields. And like I was on the software team for 1 year. Then I also did the 3D modeling for the rest of the years. So I guess basically I did a lot, and I'm really grateful for like my parents and other people who like pushed me to do these things, so I didn't really know about them at first. And yeah, I guess like I just wanted to try different things to like explore my interests, and I'm really grateful that I had these opportunities.
What's your like favorite part about it, and then I guess also on the flip side, like what's the hardest part?
My favorite topic, there's like of course like so many topics to explore, but I guess like for specifically tech, I guess artificial intelligence, like AI, is really fascinating to me. And I know like it's being integrated within like self-driving cars, and like there's so many other applications of AI, and it's like so fascinating to me. And like I really do want to learn more about that. Like have you ever learned about like I guess then AI classes or anything in your experience?
Yeah, I've done AI classes. It's so cool. It's crazy how far technology has progressed that we're to this point.
And then like I guess also cybersecurity piques my interest because I know like as you're saying, like as technology is advancing, people are also becoming more equipped to like I guess steal information and like
Yeah.
being able to protect their own information, especially like if you work at like banks or like I guess any place cybersecurity is integral. So I guess I kind of got exposure to that. Like at UMBC, they have a cyber practicum. It's kind of like a semester long note like pass fail workshop, and like we got to do a really cool I guess project, and have like speakers come in like from NSA and like talk about cybersecurity. So that was also really cool. And in general, I think like tech and like STEM is important because I actually listened to. Do you know who Gitanjali Rao is?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's so awesome. Like she's a 15-year-old girl and she's accomplished so much. And her speech for time, she basically said like, I don't like see a future without the integration of like tech and STEM. Like I don't see a future. And like I agree with her. Like in order to have like a successful future, in order to have like an equitable and safe future, we need to have technology and STEM to like get educated and like make sure everyone is like on the same, I guess, playing field, or at least we can solve our most pressing issues. So I just think like these fields allow us to like understand our world and like solve issues.
Yes, you've mentioned like a lot of different tech topics and a lot of different, I guess, like programs, workshops, and stuff that you've done. Has there been a specific one or a specific resource that you've found the most helpful to learn?
Like when you're first getting into like I guess this field of like computer science, like programming, like I haven't like used it that much recently for programming, but I definitely want to go back to it. Khan Academy basically has like so many resources like for every single subject, so that is incredible. And like they have a lot of great programs like for beginner coders, like just getting familiar with like I remember I did like HTML and CSS. They also had I guess like more advanced projects too. So that was really cool. And then also Code Academy, that's like also like a standard one, code.org, Bit Degree, and I know there's so many other resources, but I think these are some like I found helpful in the past, and I think I'll like start using them more too to like get more familiar.
Yeah, those are all really good resources. And it's great that they're all like, I think they're all free, right?
Yeah, they're all free. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're all free. They're all available to anyone online. I love like how all this information is just there and anyone can basically access it. So you've mentioned Girls Who Code, and then
Hmm.
both of us are also a part of NCWIT. I think earlier you mentioned that you are a part of SWE, Society of Women Engineers. So how have like those, I guess, being part of those different organizations been?
I think like being part of all these organizations, like it's provided like so many benefits. Like just having this community of like of women in tech and like other allies and partners in like this field is like just so uplifting and like just so encouraging. And like specifically for, so I guess I'll start with NCWIT because we're both part of that. So I think like even though it's like more of a digital community, because I know like it has members like from all across the country, it's just so awesome like how we can get connected through Facebook, and like there's other like ways too. But like I can like go on Facebook like I guess once a day, and like there's like the someone will post an NCWIT, there's like a new opportunity, like there's a hackathon, or there's like a new job or something. Like they like always keep us updated with like new opportunities. And like it's just so great being able to connect with each other, because you live in California, I live in Maryland, so we're across the country, but we can connect. So it's really cool having that support like from for all of us. And then for the Society of Women Engineers, so I joined that at UMBC my freshman year, and so far it's been like probably one of my most, I guess, stable, or I guess like committed organizations. Like I feel like I've invested like maybe the most in it. So like I like going to the meetings and the workshops. They either have like information sessions for companies, or they have like workshops. So going to the information sessions, like for example, like I went to the NOAA session, so that's how I got my internship, by going to the session. Also going to like Lockheed Martin or other sessions really help us, being able to network and hear about them. And also going to like um, the development workshops, like the career fair workshops, they've also really helped me. And the the executive board in the club like that I've been with, and I'm also part of the executive board this year. So like I feel like with all of us, like they've just been very we just like look out for each other. We try to make sure like we're able to find opportunities and make sure that like if a member is like struggling or anything, we can reach out and let them know of opportunities like for academic sources, or like other sources, like if because I know like around this time is final, so we like tried to like promote stress busters and other things to help each other out. So that was really helpful. And I'm also like part of like the UMBC has like a Center for Women in Technology, like a CWIT chapter for our school. So I'm also like involved in that, and like being able to again like have a community and like of like similar minded people, like similar majors. And like for like the past few semesters I've like found really cool chemies, chemical engineering majors, and like being friends with them has been really great, and like meeting people and like connecting with professors has been really a good experience, because I know like when you're first going to college, it's like so much information, but just meeting these cool people and like having like being able to go through them with classes, it's really good.
Those all sound like really great organizations. How has like the exec board experience been?
I think it's been really, I guess, rewarding and also challenging, but I have really enjoyed it so far. And like my other like exec board members, they're all so cool and like so, hardworking. So being on a like team with them has been really great. And like this semester, since UMBC has been entirely virtual, so like we've been having our virtual general body meetings. It's been mostly every week. Yeah, it's been every week, and like we've been doing our company information sessions. So it's really cool. Like do you know Kaylee Looney from Reinvented magazine? So like she's like part of NCWIT too, and like so I guess like she's like one of our speakers. So we basically like were able to get speakers like from across the country too, because she lives all the way in Florida. So we found like speakers like local speakers and also across like other states and experiences who are able to come to our meetings and speak to our members and promote different opportunities and just talk about their experiences in STEM, kind of like what we're doing now. And so it's really great, like having our other speakers come to our meetings and like talk about their jobs, and it's really memorable. I remember our president's dad also came. He talked about his job. He more does like a like security, like I think in the armed forces, but like hearing him talk, like how he also incorporates tech, that was also really cool. So we had like a large variety of speakers, and we also did like some workshops, like professional development, and there also was the We20 conference this year. So we also like encouraged our members to attend the We conference, digitally, and we offered support to them. And I also hosted a social event, like a Hidden Figures movie night. So I definitely want to do more things like that next semester too, and get better at that. But I feel like as the exec board member, like I guess our duties like is just like being able to organize these events and work together well, and I think we're doing that so far. So it's
Yay. Those all sound so great. I've connected with so many people from the communities, like similar to how you have. And um, yeah, I think that's like one of the greatest part about like these different organizations, just the community that they bring and like how you can really just get to meet people from all across the country and like sometimes even the world as well. And it's crazy because like we're all so similar, like we all have like similar interests, but at the same time like so different too. So yeah, it's so interesting.
It's like we all have like different backgrounds, like different, I guess, like maybe cultures or like maybe experiences in school or something. We all like are united like by our interest in tech, our interest in like making a better future. So it's really cool how we're connected like by our interests.
A lot of the orgs you mentioned were like women in tech related orgs. So I'm curious, like, what has your experience been like as a woman in tech?
So far, I feel like it's been enjoyable. Like I haven't had any like experiences that have deterred me from this field, or I guess like made me maybe feel uncomfortable again, I guess particular. But and I guess going back to like the organizations, like just having these organizations and like having, so many, I guess, women in these fields, like in similar fields, is very, very helpful. And I know that I guess I also am really glad to hear, because I know sometimes like I guess older professionals, like older women in STEM, when they talk about their experiences in college, they're like, in my classes there were only a few women or like a few other girls I could relate to or even like talk to in their classes. And I'm really glad that in my engineering class, in my 100 level engineering class, and in my current class for it's called ENCH 215, like the chemical engineering class, there are so many girls, and like I guess it's really great just seeing representation, seeing all of us in the class together. And but I guess like even though I haven't like I guess experienced discrimination or anything along those lines, I guess I always have felt maybe imposter syndrome, like just feeling like maybe I'm unqualified or not able to do as well as I want to. Like I guess I feel like like you have the I guess the feeling that everyone around you is doing so well, and like maybe they have so much more knowledge than you, and like you aren't able to meet that standard. But I guess like it's really hard to combat imposter syndrome. But I've like been to a lot of workshops, and like I guess the best thing to do is just like try to get out of that mindset, focus on your strengths and build on your strengths. And yeah, so I guess that's like what I'm gonna do moving forward, is focus on my strengths. And like um it's very like much easier like said than done, not to compare yourself to others, but that definitely is what we should do. Because like just focusing on like building yourself up, focusing on like after a difficult experience, after maybe like a failure or something, after it's like taking it as like a learning experience and not as like a negative thing. That definitely is like a better mindset. So just like learning from your mistakes, and like it's not thinking that you're unqualified, because like um I guess maybe this is like another question you might have like later on, but like I guess maybe advice is that like always like take chances. And like because I know like in this field like women are still I guess underrepresented, and like like underrepresented. But just taking chances, and like I guess having confidence in yourself to do well even if it's difficult, that's really important. So.
First, I'm glad that you've had very positive experiences. I'm glad that there's also like a lot of girls in your engineering class that you were talking about, like increasing that representation like slowly. We're all getting there.
Yes, yeah.
Feel what you said about imposter syndrome. I think that's something that everyone goes through. What you were saying about failure, and how you want to look at it not as like a defeat or something, but rather as a learning experience. I think that is like, that's so important. Like, failure is just a stepping stone to like something else. Like it means like another door is opening elsewhere, leading you down a different path that's like more suitable. And like, I don't know, just like changing that whole mindset is, it's so necessary. So you've mentioned a whole bunch of like different activities and orgs that you've been a part of, and like different events and workshops that you've gone to. Has there been like a significant like tech event that you've been a part of or that you've gone to?
I'm really lucky that I've been able to go to a lot of cool events like ever since college, and like even before college. I guess two specific events I can think of is Girl Power. So like it's an event hosted by Johns Hopkins APL, the Applied Physics Laboratory. It's like I'm like so lucky, it's like only like 5 minutes away from where I live, so it's really convenient to go to. So basically Girl Power is like their annual convention for like promoting women in STEM, having a bunch of companies come and like having their recruiters talk about opportunities. And like because like typically the audience is like in like up to high school, so it's like a younger audience, so they do a lot of cool demonstrations. And like I remember I don't remember her name, but she was one of the I guess leads for a NASA department, and she was talking about like her work on like some of the space missions. So it's really cool, like I guess hearing some women figures talk about their jobs, like what they've done. And that's like a really memorable experience that like definitely increase my interest in this field. And like the second one is University of Maryland has this annual hackathon called Technica. Maybe you've heard of it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah. So Technica is really cool. I went in person last year, my freshman year. Then I went virtually this year, and like because I'm still like trying to build my coding skills, I went as like in the mindset of like just trying to gain experience, just trying to gain knowledge about different things. I remember like doing a UI UX workshop, like user interface and all that, and also doing like some things with Arduinos, and also helping kind of with like the project, the hackathon project. So like being able to like put my hands in like different buckets and like trying different projects is really cool. And I definitely want to go to more hackathons like that, because it just like promotes a lot of positivity, and like encourages everyone to try anything. You don't have to be skilled. Just try it, learn some things, and I think that's really cool.
I mean, obviously everything now is virtual. How was like that experience of like a virtual hackathon?
It was still really cool. Like I remember during Technica, like I think at that time, like I was like stressed about like some exams and stuff, so I couldn't like fully devote myself to Technica. However, like it was like so accommodating. Like I remember like they have created like tracks. So they had like the beginner coder track, the more advanced, the hardware track, or cybersecurity track. So they had like different tracks. So like depending on what you wanted to explore, they like were accommodating to that. They were gonna like I guess help guide you through that. And they also had like the opening ceremony. It was of course virtual, but like they had a really cool event still, that connected us with each other. We still use Slack to talk to each other. And yeah, I remember like one of my friends like who was like really who like spent a lot of time, in Technica. She had a really cool project. She made like her hardware project, and like it was a really cool I guess design, and like just see like hearing her talk about it, and like also I guess dabbling into like some of the hardware stuff too. It's really cool, I guess learning about the components, like the mechanisms of it. And yeah, I think like even though it was virtual, I think they did a really good job of like organizing it and like running the event smoothly. So I really major props to them.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing how like in-person events have transitioned to online events, but they're still almost like seeing the creativity of like how they've transitioned. It that's like really cool. So yeah, like the fact that they're still like keeping, like an open or the opening ceremony and like different events, and they're still trying to like promote this like sense of community that you usually get at hackathons. So that's really cool. What goals do you have for the rest of college and then also like post college?
I think I definitely still struggle with this, and like I have like like I talk to myself about it, like I talk to my family, like friends about it. But I think like ultimately like my goal would definitely just to get in like a career in a position where I can work on the environment like hands on, like do hands on work, because I'm really like doing that. So I guess throughout college, I think to prepare myself for like a career like that, I'd want to continue taking the environmental science and computer science classes. Also try to get that geographic information system certificate, to equipping myself with like the right skills in college. And also post college, I want to go to grad school, but I'm not sure if I'll go like do it immediately. So maybe industry, maybe at first, and like some places I've considered working is like maybe EPA, like the Environmental Protection Agency, or NASA or NOAA, because I know like all of them, are very environmentally focused and like promoting sustainability, which is very important. To summarize it, I guess like I definitely want to keep doing what I'm doing right now, but like maybe focus more, because I have like sometimes I feel like I just go off in too many directions, but like focusing more on like my classes and like um focus on like the comp sci and like the environmental science, and like making sure I'm getting the right knowledge and skills to prepare me for like a future job in this field.
So we kind of like looked at the future, so kind of looking back at the past, like just like based on everything you've learned and everything you've experienced so far, if you could give advice to students who are interested in tech or environment, like what advice would you give to them?
I would say definitely um take the risk, because I know like some people are like, even like my friends right now, they're like, I'm not smart enough to go into this field. Like you have to be really naturally gifted, really naturally smart. And like honestly speaking, I've never really considered myself to be naturally smart. I feel like I guess like science and like math, like those classes, like I enjoy them, but they don't naturally like I guess click with me. So I guess I'm just like I would tell them like, even if you are like these classes are hard for you, but you do have an interest and like want to um you do something worthwhile, and like make a positive change in your community, or whatever, definitely take the chance, take those classes, and take those opportunities in front of you. Like if they're in high school, like or if they live in Howard County, like I tell them like take those research classes, because we have like the independent research and intern mentor classes. Like these classes in high school definitely prepare you for college level thinking. So like take any type of research class you can, or research programs in high school. And if they're younger, joining like the first robotics programs, it's definitely really helpful. Girls Who Code, any type of program that like is has like a similar environment where like students are trying to work towards a common goal, but also have like the really friendly environment, is like really good for kids and like people who are like just starting to get interested in this field. So I would just encourage them to not doubt themselves, not put themselves at a I think lowly, just because they don't have like the natural intuition or natural skills. Just just do something, find something that you like, and definitely take the chance for it. Yeah, you'll enjoy it. And be open minded, be willing to learn new things. That's always important. And yeah.
Yes, plus one to all of that. Yeah, be open, take risks, and kind of embrace change. I think, yeah, those are all super, super, super good advice and tips.
To wrap up, some women and like some figures I really look up to. Firstly, I really look up to like my fellow NCWIT members, like you and other people in this community because they are just so hardworking and so ambitious. I really admire all of them, and also people at my school, like my friends and like other people. I really look up to them too, and I hope, yeah, I really I'm glad that I know them. And also I guess some historical figures like Catherine Johnston, like hearing her story from Hidden Figures, it was just so remarkable, like what she went through and what she accomplished. Also Jane Goodall, I know she's more of a conservationalist, but like she's just like so inspirational to me. Like even at her age, like she's like 84 right now. She's like really, elderly, but she's like still keeping on what she's doing. She's still, doing all these talks and like going around the world to like promote conservation and all that. It's really great. Um, Grace Hopper, Marie Curie, Mae Jemison, Gitanjali Rao. I think there's a lot of, like a lot of role models in this field.
Cool. Thank you so much, Amal, for joining me on this Zoom chat today. It was really, really great getting to talk with you and hear about your experiences and just everything that you've done so far and everything that you plan to continue to do is really, really inspiring. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed talking to you.
Everyone, make sure to check out Amal's Instagram and Facebook. I'll link it in the description below. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us today, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.